Hi. High five. Give me a high five. Half hug. Half hug. Half hugs are weird. Don't half hug. Whole hug. My name is Paul Bartholomew, and this is I Want to Hold Your Band. Today's guest is NASA JPL engineer, Dr. Swati Mohan. Among other projects there, she was the guidance, navigation, and control operations lead for the Mars Perseverance rover. So honored she took the time to come and talk with me about music and the role it plays in her life. When I knew I was going to interview her, I watched some footage of the whole Mars, the Perseverance rover, and it is absolutely mind-blowing what they do at NASA JPL. Anyway, it's incredible. So it was a great talk. We talked Les Mis, Taylor Swift, Ernie from Sesame Street, The Greatest Showman, this Hindi lullaby, Hawa Dheere Se Aana. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. And a bunch more. So don't forget that the links to the songs are in the episode description, so you can click them and vibe along with us. And other than that, I hope you enjoy the episode. And without further ado, Dr. Swati Mohan. Just a quick little aside, this conversation reflects Dr. Swati Mohan's personal experiences and perspectives, not those of NASA. All right, enjoy it. The first piece of music, artist, album that you remember coming into your life when you were younger.
So this would be a lullaby that my mom used to sing to me. My mom and my grandma used to sing to me that I remember vividly. It was like my comfort song going to sleep. I found out later, maybe when I was a teenager, that it was actually from an old Hindi movie that was shot in like the 1960s. And like it was one of their favorite songs. It was super popular. So they would always sing it to me. And it's in the movie, it's a scene where the mom is putting the child to sleep. So that was my first song that I remember because they used to sing it to me to put me to sleep when I was a little kid, maybe like 4 or 5.
Do you remember the song?
Mm-hmm. It's called Hawa Dheere Se Aana.
Hawa Dheere Naba.
Hawa Dheere
Se
Aana.
Aana. And it's from, do you remember the movie?
I don't know the movie. No, I don't think I've actually seen the movie. Once they told me that it was from a movie, I think eventually I YouTubed like that particular scene to get the full lyrics, but I don't think I've actually seen the movie. And to be honest, I don't know that I actually even know what the words mean because I don't speak Hindi fluently, and I'm sure they've told me at some point. But
wow.
It's just the melody of it.
Yes.
I can remember.
Which leads to a question. I ask it much later, but the melody of it versus the words. When you hear a song, do you hear the melody first or do you hear the words?
I think I hear the melody first, and then I hear the words.
Yeah.
But the words mean more to me, I think, than the melody does. So it's interesting that keeping it in or having it cinched in is more about the words to me than the melody, even if it's the melody that first interests me about the song.
Yeah. Have you heard it in a while?
I have not. It doesn't really come up on my shuffles, or I have to like go out looking for it.
Yeah. Was your grandmother around?
Yeah, my grandparents stayed with us off and on. Like sometimes it would be my mom's parents and sometimes it would be my dad's parents. We moved to the United States when I was 1. So when my grandparents would visit from India, they would come for like 6 months to a year or so at the time when they had their visas. So like when they came, they would stay with us for months at a time. First moved to Philadelphia, and then when I was 5 or so, we moved to Virginia, like Alexandria, right outside of D.C., and I was there for K through 12. And then as soon as I graduated from high school, because they were just waiting until I graduated from high school, my parents moved out to California.
And why? Did they want to be?
With the cold. They were so done with the cold, and they had a job opportunity here. But my sister and I were like, we don't want to move. Junior year of high school.
Of course.
So they stayed just as long until I went to college, and then they left. 2 months later, my first break home from college was to the new apartment in California.
Oh, really? In this area, in like Los Angeles area?
No, they moved to San Diego.
Oh, okay.
So still SoCal, but
Are they still there?
No, then they retired to Florida about 15 years ago.
Oh, wow. Older sister, younger sister?
Older sister, 2 years older.
2 years older. Your parents, do you remember any music? So in your place in Alexandria, do you remember your parents playing any music? Did they have like something out in the living room, like a record player or a CD player or anything like that? Do you remember
We
music
did not
in
have
your
a
house?
record player that I remember. We had a CD player, but mostly it was my sister and I who would play things up there. But they enjoyed music. Like the old Bollywood hits were primarily what they would play. We had a lot of family in the area. So I remember like when all the cousins and aunts and uncles would come over, like they would sing. There was a particular game they used to play called Antakshari where like someone would sing a phrase of a tune and then the next person had to guess and like sing the next phrase of the tune and they could kind of go around and round robin, which was kind of fun.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Your sister, any influence for music from her at all? Did she listen? Do you remember her listening to anything?
We kind of listened to it together. Like my mom would have just the pop station on when we were driving to and from school. So that was, I remember listening to like Whitney Houston in the car. My sister would make mixtapes back in the day. So I think we still have a few of those.
You still have the mixtapes?
I don't. She might still have a few of those. I found one of my CD mixtapes that I think I made in college.
Do you remember the first piece of music that you bought for yourself?
I don't remember which one I bought for myself, but growing up, there were 3 CDs that I had that were purchased. One was Les Mis, the original soundtrack from Les Mis, which I loved. The second one was a Celine Dion soundtrack, like one of her CDs. And then the third one was the soundtrack to Mulan. So a very interesting collection. But those are the only 3 I remember having through high school, plus all the mixtapes that my sister had. But these were the ones that I were purchased or actually.
When she had the mixtapes, would you kind of lean on her? Was she a little more in the know about music? Like she'd put together mixtapes.
She, like I said, I am not a music aficionado, so it was mostly whatever came to me from other areas, whether it was my sister, my parents, or things like that. So I mostly absorbed, and I didn't know enough or even care enough to seek it out myself. Full disclosure, I did have to ask my husband. I was like, "What are my favorite songs?" And he's like. And he would like listen. I was like, oh, that's right. I do like that song.
Yeah. Which leads to very interesting point. I'm going to go to your list now. That when you put down favorite albums, that all 6 that you put down were all musicals.
Yes.
Which I so appreciate and love. And what is it about musicals to you that you love?
It's the only one where like I know the story, so I'm willing to listen to all the songs on the album. Like the other ones are like singles, and I don't particularly like care for like all the different songs on there.
Yeah.
And in some sense, the albums that I like the single, the other songs feel too similar to me to that songs. But for the musicals, like each of the songs has an arc in the story. So it's one of the few where I like the whole set because the set together means something to me. And each of the songs tends to be a little bit different based on where they are in the musical, right? Whether in the early and they're kind of building up the story, or if it's like the powerful emotion of the character finding themselves, or it's the finale, like it has an arc to it. So each song feels different to me. So those are why I put it as the album, because they're the ones that I listen to as a full album.
Wow, that's so interesting. That makes complete sense, actually. Complete sense. Connecting onto the stories of the music to help. You know, one of your songs, actually, I had a chance when I was early on in my acting career in New York. I was trying musical theater, and I was auditioning for it. And I had a couple callbacks for Marius, and I sang Empty Chairs and Empty Tables. And I went to had me go to the theater, and I sang it. I just couldn't, my voice wasn't trained enough. And I eventually was like, no, I like just like comedy, straight theater, like, and I love musicals, but I couldn't do the.
It goes very low and very high in the same song, but it's so powerful because each of them, like he sits very low at the beginning because you feel that the grief inside, and then the pain coming out very high. It's one of the songs I put when I need to cry.
Does it do that to you?
It does. That particular one. I saw Les Mis at the Pantages with my daughter this past October when it was so good. I think I was bawling throughout the entire show. It was that good. But you get to Empty Chairs, and then you just feel the grief through those words.
Yeah. I didn't realize that 1987, Les Mis and Phantom came out in the same year, 1987.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So that's another one of your faves, as well as Aladdin, which I loved.
Aladdin is beautiful. Like, the movie was just phenomenal. Robin Williams is just incredible and one of my favorite actors still. And it was a whole family thing for us because my dad loved Aladdin too. So I remember
my
mom was on a business trip once in Salt Lake City, and we had gone to visit, and it was super hot and we didn't really know what to do. And there was one of these discount movie theaters like close to where we were staying. They were playing Aladdin. We saw Aladdin like 5 times that week. Like every day we went once because it's like $1 a ticket. And we're like, that's what we're going to do. It was just super fun. And we all liked it as a family.
How old were you?
Must have been 12.
Did your sister like it too? Everybody liked it?
Yeah, it was me, my dad, and my sister. Like, that's what we did. We had the option of doing that. So I was like, no. It was very hot outside. So like a movie theater and the air conditioning we saw like the noon show when it was the hottest outside. So it kind of fit into an escape from the heat. Yeah. My husband and I watched it on our first date, which was super fun because he's also a Disney fan.
How did that come to be? How did you on your first date?
I mean, we just put it on Netflix or something like that. We were just kind of scrolling and we're like, oh, what do you want to watch? And we'd already like gone out and we were home after we'd gone out. So we were just like, oh, we'll put on a movie. And we're like, oh yeah, I like that movie. Oh, I like that movie too. So
that's so sweet that your dad loved it so much.
Yeah.
Did he like was he a musical person like you are?
No. Aladdin was probably one of the only few that he actually liked. We took him to, I don't remember if it was Beauty and the Beast or Phantom, and he just like fell asleep in the back of the theater with us. We were like, okay, we're not actually taking him to live musicals. Aladdin is enough. But he and I used to go to science fiction movies all the time. Star Wars, Star Trek.
That's nice.
He liked X-Files, that sort of thing.
I noticed on your list of favorite artists that it's very heavy with strong, like power pop women. Kelly Clarkson, Meghan Trainor, Taylor Swift, Pink, Miley Cyrus, Adele.
Yes.
Is it empowering those artists, or you just like their music, or is something else to it?
I like their music, but I think they disproportionately have songs that are about self-empowerment and being able to stand up for yourself and, appreciate where you are in the moment and like saying that this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be and I'm going to own that. And then also have the flip side of it where they're vulnerable and kind of be acknowledging of that. So I like being able to feel that spread. It feels very honest to me. That's why I like The Man also. Like it's very juxtaposed. Yeah, if I was someone else, then these are what you'd call me. And it's so different from what you're calling me now and in very simple terms too.
These songs, I mean, as a woman in STEM, I'm sure you've dealt with that a lot.
Very much so. My particular area of STEM also is much more male dominated still to this day than other areas of STEM. We've kind of gotten into gender equality in various areas, like the biological sciences and some aspects of medicine have gotten a little bit more to like 50% or higher females. But in my area, which is very math heavy, very computationally heavy, it's still pretty limiting. My division at work has been 15% female for the last 15 years that I've been there. And my predecessor female, they say it's probably even longer than that. And it hasn't really increased in all of that time. So I've been very used to being the only woman in the class or only woman in the team for the majority of my career, probably starting from the AP computer science class that I took in high school, maybe even from the machine shop class that I took in middle school.
How about the obscure song section, I Don't Want to Live on the Moon, Ernie from Sesame Street?
I love that song.
And how did that come in? Is it because of your children or is it because before then?
No, my husband played it for me after we were married because he's a huge Muppets fan. And he has a beautiful voice. So when we first started dating, I was like, I want you to sing for me. Sing this, sing that. And then he would just pick random songs. So he sang this song. He was just humming it, I think, one day. I was like, where did that song come from? He's like, oh, it's from the Muppets. I was like, Muppets. And if you listen to it, it's so beautiful. It has such this because I want to go to the moon. It would be super cool to go into space, but then, I'd want to come home afterwards.
I listened just to the beginning because I always hear melody first before I hear words, and it was so beautiful. What is kind of the bit? What is it about? It's just he's like, I want to go to the moon, but I don't want to live there. Yeah,
it's exactly that. I would want to go to the moon. I would want to walk and see the stars, but I don't think I'd want to live there forever. I want to go to the sea and play with all the fish, but I don't think I'd want to live there forever. And it comes down to this: yes, there are beautiful things about all these different places, but in the end, home is where the heart is. So while I'd want to visit all these places, I'd want to come home.
Leave it to Sesame Street. Yeah. I'm curious, actually, in just a general question. In your incredible job that you do, which is amazing. Like after you said, "Oh yeah, I'll come," I was just watching different videos and Perseverance, the land, like all of it is incredible. Does your team or do any of the teams ever, when you're out, like in a hangar thing, is there ever music going? Do people ever put on music? And what do they do? Is it just kind of like whatever's on is on?
And there's two kind of areas that it comes out more often than not. So during the development, when we're in the test bed, which is the mock-up, and we're having we spend hours in there testing all the different code and like running simulations. And there's big pauses where we're waiting for things. Like we set it up to boot up, and it takes like an hour to boot it up. So we're waiting, and these shifts last sometimes at least 7-8 hours, and sometimes you do a double shift and it can be 12 to 14 hours. So music helps there, because it kind of keeps the energy going, especially when we're waiting for these sections to complete. So we definitely, like me and one of my co-testers, we would like just cycle through our playlists during that time, which was kind of fun.
That's why I was curious. Who's in charge of the music? Like who?
We would just alternate, or sometimes it became a sharing thing. Like, oh, look, have you listened to this song, or have you listened to that song as we were waiting? So it's kind of a fun thing. Sometimes if it was a solo thing, I would have it on by myself or have headphones in, because it's pretty loud in there, so sometimes you didn't have it.
All the machines and
the air vents going, and it's just this constant hum of energy. So having the headphones in with like the noise canceling and just listening to the songs helps it be a little calmer and keep like the mood energy up as you're going through, because some of it is very rote. Like you have to do things very methodically and like go through step after step after step after step. So like, and some of these we've run like 15 times or 20 times the same thing over again. So to not make a mistake, you kind of keep that energy like, okay, you get into a rhythm. So the music helps with that. The fun part though is after we get into operations, the way we talk to the rover is like on a daily cadence. So the rover has like a sleep-wake cycle. So it wakes up in the morning and it gets its instructions from Earth, and it does all of its instructions, and then it kind of sends all the information back, and then it goes to sleep because it doesn't have enough energy to power itself with the heat and like what's needed when it gets cold in the night on Mars. So it basically has to go to sleep at night. So there's this like nice daily cadence to that. So in mission control then, they play a wake-up song at the beginning of the shift in order to like get everyone, awake, and jazz is kind of the first thing that they do. So every day, the flight director or the person in charge of that shift gets to pick the wake-up song for the day.
That's so cool.
And they play it at mission control, and then that kind of kicks off the day, and everyone goes and looks at the telemetry from the rover and goes through the, whatever that particular shift's objectives are and things.
Is mission control, is it that huge room that we see, like when you were, when it was landing and you were...
Yeah, that's one of the rooms. There's actually multiple in that same building at JPL. So that one was primarily used when we got to Mars, like through cruise and landing day. But the surface folks have a different one on the second floor that's a little bit more open, and it's kind of structured a little bit differently. That one, we were only in it for 6 months, and it's set up slightly differently because the rover is there for years. Like it's still going, right? It's been 5 years. So it's structured a little differently to make for a more everyday type of flow.
Very cool.
That one is our special events type of room. The one
Got
that
it.
you saw me on TV for.
That's for showtime.
Yes, exactly. That is literally the one that's used for all the ones that get broadcast, all the events.
We got to fire it up.
That room, it's always recording. So like every time you speak on net, like everything gets recorded for posterity. So you have to be very...
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had instructions like you're not allowed to cheer preemptively because it's being fully broadcast on landing day. If you say anything on the mic, like you have to be careful. You have to be, very judicious of what you say because it's recorded as part of
posterity for life.
Posterity for
so you can't go, oh shit.
You can say that. You just can't be on the net while you say that.
That's incredible. Well, let's see. We're landing the plane, and then if you don't mind, I have a little quick questionnaire game that I play. No, actually, that tied in my other question, which is for you, which you kind of already answered. I said, this is my non-science. When you are crunching equations or whatever, do you listen to music or do you need full focus? Like, whenever I studied, I could never, people are like, oh, but do classical or do jazz. I couldn't have music because my brain gets pulled to the music. Do you have something when you're doing those very, like, you said it's like the 15th time, the 20th time, and you're doing something? Or do you have music going or no? Do you need kind of full focus?
It depends on what it is. If it's task that I'm comfortable with, that's more of a repetition of something done before, I can have music on it and it can have words and it can still focus. If I have to write something for the first time, like a technical paper, usually then if I have music, it's kind of the classical concentration thing because I need to focus on what I'm writing. And if I'm listening to things with words, it will like skew and I'll end up not being able to separate the words that I'm thinking of because of the song and the words that I need to write for the paper. So then I'll skew to having music on. It was probably about 50-50 when I would have it versus not. The more tired I was, the more likely I was to have it on.
Yeah, it would kind of keep you buoyed up or supported. Okay, 3 musical artists you'd like to have a dinner party with.
Kelly Clarkson, Pink, and Meghan Trainor. I did get to actually go on the Kelly Clarkson show.
I saw that clip when I was doing some of your research.
I was like fangirling. It was an incredible, super fun experience.
Spotify or iTunes?
I had both, but I'm on iTunes, Apple Music now.
Apple Music. I don't know why I say iTunes. Yeah. Apple Music. I got to change that. What artist's body would you like to inhabit to perform one of their songs at a concert? And what song would it be?
I like This Is Me.
Oh, This Is Me, Greatest Showman. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. And you're going to have dancers behind you. You're going to do the whole number. Yeah. You're going to like perform it at not the Tonys, but at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that for you. Air instrument. If you do an air instrument, what's your best air instrument? Guitar, drums?
Piano.
I've been waiting for this for so long.
Just because I play the piano, I'm like, I feel like I'm somewhat, at least I can understand like enough of the things to understand like how to move my hands for a piano.
Over 40 people, no one's ever answered piano.
Really?
And I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for air piano. You've finally done it.
I've finally done it.
It took a NASA scientist would it be NASA scientist?
I'm an engineer.
A NASA engineer.
Yes. JPL is NASA, and there are scientists there too. I make the distinction because scientists ask why, and engineers ask how, because they do the actual building of it, which is the main motivation, as opposed to the knowledge for knowledge's sake for scientists.
Free front row ticket, any concert, any decade, and you can time travel.
Any decade.
Any decade.
The Beatles, front row for that big one that they did in New York
Stadium. Oh, in New York at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, and your front row.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Great answer. Yeah. Oh, this is a great question for me to know. Aliens, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
The universe is just way too big to think that we are the only ones in the time history of the entire universe before or after to have existed. Personal belief, these do not represent the views of NASA or JPL or any of that.
Yes. I'm yes. I'm just being silly. Cilantro, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Last question. Toilet paper, waterfall or under the bridge?
Waterfall.
Like 95% of people are waterfall. You're like, I don't care, right?
I don't really care. I think if you go to our house, I bet you like some are over the top and some are underneath. And I was like, okay.
You're controlling a rover on Mars. You don't care where the toilet paper is over the top or under.
As long as it's there.
Great answer.
Sometimes like they're not even there and you're like, they're on the toilet itself.
Yeah,
and then it's like, yeah.
I don't like that because I don't
like that.
I don't like grabbing because somebody else I don't want to get too graphic, but I don't like grabbing something that somebody's grabbed, and I don't want to do that. So it has to be on the thing for me. That's it. Thank you so much for coming.
It was fun to listen to your analysis. I was like, oh, there is actually like some theme between them that says something about my personality.